Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Chaffee. It's weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. And we are looking at the potential for some accumulating snows across the southern mid Atlantic states, specifically North Carolina and southern Virginia. This was an early call forecast map that I did yesterday. I was primarily focused in North Carolina. Uh, so I'm probably going to redo this later today to extend it a little bit further to the north. But I didn't change anything from looking at the overnight models. Everything seems to be pretty consistent. I went for the potential along I-95 and maybe to areas just to the west and just to the east of the potential for up to a few inches. And then, of course, the amounts drop down as you get down to the coast, maybe a coating to an inch there, and on the Outer Banks, probably little or nothing, although I think they'll probably see some snow there falling out of the sky. And also out in the west, particularly as you go west of 77 and toward I-81, where we see the potential for a few inches, especially in the east-facing mountains. You tend to get a bit of a shadow effect on the west side when you move into the Tennessee side in a situation like this because of the wind coming in from the northeast. So here's how the overnight models have played it out. Just kind of using the NAM model since it is the most robust of the bunch. The other ones are a bit less so, but I figured showing you the most robust natured model is a little more effective. One thing is, I think that the area of precip, the northern extent of it, is probably a little bit too far to the north. And as we run back, first of all, let me just back it up through today. We have our cold front that has moved on through and it's stalling out across the south. And then we get this next surge of rain, which is, by the way, going to impact Mississippi and Alabama, where they've had considerable flooding over the last week to 10 days. Then we get the precip to move into the colder air that'll be bleeding southward from New England. And we see snow breaking out in eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina tomorrow morning, spreading across the state. And there's your low developing off the South Carolina coast. And then it just kind of slides out to the east northeast, which means that the northern extent of precip, I think the NAM bringing the northern edge of snow to southern New Jersey is a bit much. And I also think that bringing the northern edge to just south of Washington, D.C. is also perhaps a little bit too aggressive. But areas down in southeastern Virginia, eastern North Carolina, I think are going to be the most vulnerable with this. Now, everybody else, of course, it's about this cold high that is spreading east. So we've got a nice day already setting up for today with sunshine and temperatures that are going to be primarily in the 40s from northeast Virginia to southern New England. More clouds, though, as you go south, however, down into northeastern Virginia and Maryland as we have that frontal boundary settling in those areas and point south. The high covers us for the rest of the week. We're going to be dry right through the weekend. I see no major weather issues whatsoever. And here's just taking you through the weekend. In fact, by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, temperatures are going to warm up nicely with the high dropping down to our south and a west wind. The next chance for any precipitation probably comes later on Monday as low pressure heads out of Kansas and Oklahoma and runs up to Ohio and eventually tries to redevelop pretty much the same old song here. And of course, by the time that precip gets here, there's no cold air left to speak of. Getting back to the snow, this is what the Weather Service has from eastern North Carolina, from the offices there, and this is where you start to see them putting in these 1 inch amounts and less than an inch as you get toward the coast. But that'll be about it. Meanwhile, this morning, as of 8 a.m., we've got temperatures that are mostly in the mid 30s to low 40s. So we're going to be kind of holding in the 40s for much of the day today. The winds have turned to the northwest and skies have cleared out. The southern edge of the cloud line is down just north and west of Washington, Baltimore, northeastward into southernmost New Jersey. You can see the northern edge of the high clouds there. And of course, this long stream that goes back through the southern mid-Atlantic states, down through the Gulf states, and back out into the Pacific off the coast of Baja California. All that moisture streaming to the northeast Your rain area is setting up from North Carolina west southwest into Texas, this narrow frontal boundary. And as we showed you, that precip is going to be moving eastward through the Gulf states and creating more issues for some areas. And finally, just kind of give a look here in terms of what the Weather Service is doing overall in North Carolina. According to an inch or so going back into western North Carolina, the darker blues indicating perhaps some higher amounts, elevation driven as you go to the west. And then you've got this area of 1 to 3 inches in northeastern North Carolina, southeastern Virginia. I think there might be some more adjustments that are going to be need to be made in terms of the forecast. And as much as a coating reaching the southern parts of the Delmarva Peninsula, I guess I'm okay with the way they have the northern fringe drawn here. Meanwhile, for everybody else, just for all the snow lovers, at least through Saturday, a little bit of action going on in parts of upstate New York. Was with some leftover lake effect there. Otherwise, of course, the snow drought here continues. Longer range, we'll see. As given the way the winter has been, it's hard to imagine how we're going to go against the main grain of this overall pattern and suddenly be able to produce a accumulating snowfall in the I-95 urban corridor from Washington to New York to Philadelphia to New York City to Hartford to Boston. But stranger things have happened. In the meantime, we'll update you on that later today. Be sure to download the free weather apps, the meteorologist Joe Chaffee weather app and Angry Ben's weather app, the Angry Weatherman. The apps have snow forecast maps that go clear down from Maine all the way to South Carolina. So if you're traveling or if you even are from those areas, you can use the app. You can get your local National Weather Service forecast on it, along with Zoom radar, so that you can follow this along. And you know what? It's free, so why not have it as your weather app on your smartphone? All right, folks, have a great day. We will see you later.